Good morning from Cedars of Lebanon State Park, a park filled with these beautiful trees that are green year-round. Heather and I and the kids have spent the last 4 days here doing everything we could possibly do here at the park. And so in today's video, I'm going to review it for you and give it a score between 0 and 100. And you can see where it lines up with 30-something state parks that I've reviewed so far. So enjoy today's video. God bless you. And remember, God's creation is meant to be explored. The first category is natural beauty and wildlife. One of the things that I really liked about this park was that while there are no rivers or lakes or streams to speak of, it is, quote, a dry park, it is also what I call an evergreen park. So while you will see rock outcroppings and things like that, the cedars themselves, as well as the landscape, means that it's going to be green during the winter. We went on spring break and that was kind of right before things came to life, but we were still able to see a lot of really beautiful things like sinkholes and caves, and we even found a little spot that had some sitting open water, which should be dry real soon. Okay, this is the Limestone Sinks Trail. It's only about half a mile and a lot of really cool stuff to see. This is number 5 or 6 of these sinkholes that we have seen so far. And so really cool, but also I'm gonna come around this way and show you something really cool. So this is a really cool tree behind us, and it has been twisted over the years and formed these giant, I think they're called burls. Apparently they're like one of the most exotic woods for the cool grains. It's used in like cars and other stuff, but a really cool thing to see, literally just like 20 feet apart from a sinkhole. So I'd encourage you, check out this trail if you're gonna come here. It's an easy hike, great for kids of all ages, and really cool to see what God has done here in Cedars of Lebanon State Park. So while there are no mountains or streams, I did think that the park had some really beautiful things to see. We saw squirrels and deer. I really think that the sinkholes and the caves, though, really set this park apart, as well as the evergreens. So this gets an above average score of 7 out of 10 for natural beauty and wildlife. As you can see from the drone shot that I got, there are multiple campgrounds there at the state park. The side that I was on had mostly pull-throughs, which were paved, and also had a little pad next to each campsite. And it had all of your normal hookups like electricity and water, and then all of the equipment there on site was also brand new, which was really cool. They have lantern stands, which look like they have never been used. And all of the grills look just like this. I mean, they've never been used. They're brand spanking new. There's not even dust on them, which is crazy. So I'm filming this in March of 2025. And they said that things have been renovated. And I can definitely tell the streets are paved, especially the actual campsites are paved. And let me just turn the camera around and show you this. I don't think I've ever seen this before. The problem that I'm running into is that at each campsite you have your little driveway here, but these cedar trees, which I get the park is known for, I mean, are right up against it. And that creates a couple of challenges. One, it was very challenging to pull our camper around a corner and in, because I thought I was going to hit a tree. So I wind up actually circling back and backing it in, which I was kind of told not to, just pull straight through. But I don't think I could have pulled my camper in without hitting either a pole or a tree. And then the other thing is that we got our camper all set up, and I was letting the kids push the buttons to get everything, you know, rocking and rolling with the camper, and I realized we can't extend our awning out because there was a cedar tree right in the way. So as you can see, Thor, our Avengers camper, is mostly set up, but you can see here I had to stop Truman from hitting the tree because we were pulling the awning out and there you go. We only have about a foot or so. I wanted to leave a gap in case it was windy or something. So definitely a learning experience for us. In addition to the regular campsites, they did have group lodges as well as cabins. And so I'm going to give campsite layout a 7 out of 10. Up next is activities, and this is worth a possible 20 points because in my opinion that's why you go to state parks, is to run around and have fun and go on family adventures. Now, full disclosure, I feel like this review is going to be a little disingenuous because we spent 4 days there instead of the usual 2, but I digress. There were a lot of great things to do, including all your day activity stuff like picnic stuff, and then when we were there they also had a splash pad, but unfortunately that was closed. The season hadn't started yet, but a lot of your day activities, all of that normal stuff is there available, ready to have fun. We have noted that oftentimes during state park visits we find places that resemble Middle Earth, and so behind us it looks kind of like, I guess it's a Rohan kind of going through the hills with all the rock outcroppings and things like that. And so really cool to see, and makes me want to say, they're taking the hobbits to Isengard!
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard!
Yeah. Poor Truman's eye.
So I go into more details about the disc golf course and the deep dive, but this place was really cool because they also had a wedding venue. And so we saw the bride and groom outside taking pictures, and that was really cool and unique for a state park for sure. The kids also went horseback riding. We got to see some of the wildlife there. We had all of your regular camping activities like cooking s'mores at the campfire. They also have a nature center and a little exhibit there about wildlife, the cedars themselves, what they were used for. Fun fact, they were used for pencils, at least the roots of them were. But there by the Welcome Center, they also had a lot of other stuff to do, from picnicking to going on hikes and adventures there right behind the nature center, and a cave. Remember, what'd you make?
I made a turtle.
Yeah. Good job, dude.
Bye.
All right, we are going in the cave. We were told the first bit you have to crouch the entire way, and then it opens up. So we have the family. The ground looks like this, so it's going to be a little slow going.
I'm done. I don't
Say hi.
see anything beyond this. I did.
Apparently the cave goes over a mile in depth, but we just went the first 150 feet or so. That was all the adventure that we needed with our family, especially with the little ones. Once we left the cave though, we went to the old homestead site, which is on the other side of the street at the park entryway, where they have a real broom maker as well as some old homestead buildings that you can explore and look at all the artifacts that they have there. And then our family went on a hike which was filled with sinkholes, which was fun because we got to kind of climb around and see what was hidden away in there, as well as this little cave that's blocked off, but we got to see the entrance, which was cool. All right, Truman and I went on our own No Girls Allowed trip, right?
Yeah, and we went all the way to the sunset.
All the way to the sunset. And who made that sunset over there, Truman?
God!
That's right. Why did he make that sunset?
Because he wanted people to live.
Yeah, and to see how good and powerful he is, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We also opted to pay to go horseback riding. The kids did, at least, and they had a really fun time with that. So with everything that we did, I'm going to give activities a 17 out of 20. Up next is restrooms, and this is a shot of the restrooms there at the Welcome Center. Unfortunately, though, they were a little outdated there at the campground, and probably my biggest pet peeve about these bathrooms, it sounds silly, but there are no benches. So even though it's outdated, it's still serviceable, but when you take a shower, you don't want to put your feet on the nasty ground. You want it to be able to get off the ground a little bit and get dry, and that unfortunately wasn't the case. But I'm going to give restrooms a 6 out of 10. The next category is drivability. It was very easy to get to. The roads were well maintained. It's right in the center of the state, not far at all from Nashville. So I'm going to give drivability an 8 out of 10. I'm happy to report that we had an incredible interaction with all of the staff. They were super helpful and friendly, and shout out to the park ranger who really took his time with me to show me where I was going to be camping, as well as when we could safely explore the cave and not put anyone in danger. So I'm going to give the staff a perfect 10 out of 10. The next category is nearby amenities. They had the kind of general store and welcome center there right as you enter the park with normal kind of souvenir type stuff, as well as a few things that you might be able to nibble on and eat at your stay. But the coolest part, by far, was the camp store. This was absolutely incredible. It's one of the best by far that I've experienced at over 30 Tennessee state parks. It looked great. It had everything you would need, reasonably priced. The staff there was great. I cannot recommend this store enough. Well, this isn't a first, but it's probably a second or third time out of 30 something state parks that I've seen laundry, which is awesome and very underrated. I wish that they had this at every Tennessee state park. And it's got a little sink in here and everything you might need. And it's $1.50 to do your wash and $1 to do your drying. So really cool. Good job. They even have a little sitting area where you can read a book, be inside the heat or AC. And yeah, really cool. I like it a lot. Between the sinkholes and caves and evergreens there, it's a pretty unique park, and uniqueness gets a 7 out of 10. The final category is cost. I felt like it was maybe a little more expensive than normal, but I felt like it was a good value and very in line with other Tennessee state parks, and I'm going to give it another 7 out of 10 for cost. We had a great 4-day journey and trip there at the park, and I'm going to give it a total of 77 out of 100.